Alright, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to the Good Night Show. Alright, okay, that's a bit loud, but I'm your host Dongmin Kim, and today I'm here to share with you our latest our latest findings. We give you the effects of vigorous late night exercise on sleep quality and cardiac autonomic activity. Alright, so without further ado, let's get this show off the ground. Alright, now everyone, please take a look over here at these two words, exercise and sleep. So they are crucial, important, key factors to what everyone aims for in life, and that is health. Am I right? Well, if it isn't for some of you guys, it will be when you guys are 50 years old. So I'm pretty sure that if we just have enough sleep and exercise, then half of our visits to the hospital would probably not exist. So although that might leave a lot of doctors jobless, so no. So anyways, that's just how important exercise and sleep is. But unfortunately, right, just like this woman right here, most of us don't have the time or the motivation to squeeze a workout session in our daytime, right? I mean, we got so many things to do in life. We gotta go eat, and then we gotta, take a dump, go watch the movies, go on a date with our girlfriend, boyfriend, and what else do we have to do? Maybe pull an all-nighter, preparing for the speech, maybe, yeah. Anyways, we got no time to exercise. So what do we tell ourselves? Oh, I guess I'll just go exercise in the late night. Oh, that's a good idea, right? Is it? Because a guy comes along, possibly an uneducated trainer maybe, and he comes up to you and he says like, hey man, why are you doing late night exercises? Don't you know it's bad for your sleep? And you'll be like, for real? Oh my goodness, I need my sleep. Forget exercise, I'm gonna go sleep. Okay, so that might be a bit over-exaggerated, but just go ahead and search the words late night exercises, or in Korean, 늦은밤 운동 online, and this is just a fraction of what you'll find online. So a lot of the people online say that late night exercise is bad for your sleep, but is this really true? Is there real scientific evidence? Because, excuse me. In fact, it was even reported by the American Academy of Sleep Medicine that the practice of vigorous late night exercise may produce increased arousal and lead to poor sleep hygiene. So, do we have to just give up on exercise? No, not yet. Because that's when we ask the question, is there scientific evidence to support this belief? Well, that's what we're here to tell you guys. So if you want to know the answer, just stay with us as we unveil the truth. So before we begin, we'll first speak about the materials and methods, and then the measurements, then results, and finally a discussion. So first up, as our first member, allow me to introduce Young-Suk Jung.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Young-Suk Jung. Before measurements, I will explain about materials and methods. 11 young adults of similar age were monitored in a sleep laboratory. The subjects underwent 2 study days, separated by approximately 1 week. First, after a day, including late night exercise, and second, after a control day without exercise. During the exercise day, an incremental cycle exercise was designed to end 2 hours before going to bed, starting approximately 9 p.m. The exercise lasted for 35 minutes, and the subjects were encouraged to continue cycling until voluntary exertion or inability to maintain reasonable cycling pace.
I see. So a simple design of one day, including an exercise day and a control day without exercise. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So now tell us, how did you measure the quality of the subject's sleep? I heard several methods were used.
Yes, we used 4 different types of measurements. I will give you a quick overview one by one. First one is polysomnography. This measurement is tested with electrodes. Before going to bed, 10 electrodes were attached to the subject's skull and facial area for the measurement. This is an example of how it looks. The signal was collected using an amplifier and an AD converter. The sleep state scoring was done by using visual inspection and 30-second window. The analyzed stages included the periods of wakefulness and body movement, stage 1, stage 2, slow wave sleep, and also called stage 3 and REM sleep.
Okay, so hold on. Before moving on, a quick note on the stages of sleep. So the 4 stages of sleep can be divided into the non-REM sleep and the REM sleep. And you might have heard of the REM sleep, also called the dreaming stage, where your eyes move rapidly. But this is not the most important part of your sleep, is it?
No, it's actually stage 3 of non-REM sleep that plays a crucial role.
Yes, stage 3 is also called the deep sleep stage, and it is the most restorative stage of your sleep. So to fully recover from a tired day, you have to acquire a good amount of stage 3 sleep.
Thank you. Moving on with our second measurement, actigraphy. An actiwatch was worn on the non-dominant wrist, which measured the amount, intensity, and duration of movement in all directions. The duration of activity counts was 15 seconds, and all movement that is greater than 0.05 gram were measured. Third is subjective sleep quality. Subjective sleep quality was assessed in the morning after awakening using a question, how did you sleep last night, with the scale number 1 to 5. Tiredness was asked in the evening before going to bed and in the morning by a question, how tired do you feel physically right now, with the scale number 1 to 10. Finally, cardiac autonomic activity. ECG R2R intervals were recorded during sleep with an accuracy of 3 milliseconds. To determine the HRV, we measured the heart rate, high and low frequency power, and total power.
Thank you, Youngseok. Now we'll move on to the results.
Good morning, I'm Kim Kono, and now I'll talk about the results. The first is overview of exercise. The increasing intensity cycle exercise started at 9 p.m., lasted for 35 minutes, and ended 2 hours before bedtime. The exercise intensity was light for 12 plus minus 3 minutes, moderate for 9 plus minus 3 minutes, vigorous for 12 plus minus 2 minutes, and very hard for 2 plus minus 2 minutes. The overview of sleep after both days is expressed in Table 1. Bed and awakening times did not differ between the days. In polysomnographic variables, the only difference was the greater proportion of non-REM sleep after exercise day than control day. Here we can see that the non-REM sleep percentage of the exercise day was 73.3%, while the control day was 69.3%. No differences were observed in actigraphic or subjective sleep quality between the days. During the whole sleep, HR was higher after exercise day than control day. Nocturnal HR did not differ between the days. Relaxation time and percentage were lower after exercise day than control day. Using hour-by-hour comparisons, an interaction between the day and the sleeping hours was found in HR. If you look at Figure 1, HR was higher during the first 3 sleeping hours after the exercise day, then after control day. However, after 3 hours, the gap lowered to insignificant stats. No interaction between the day and sleeping hours was found, when analyzing HFP and LP hour by hour. But there was a main effect in sleeping hours.
So, Gonu, does this mean that there was no significant differences to conclude that exercise is harmful to sleep?
Yes, the only difference counted was higher HR in the first 3 hours after exercise day, but this did not greatly affect the quality of sleep.
Amazing, thank you very much. Alright, we've now seen the results, but what does it tell us and what can we conclude from it? Let's hear the discussion.
Good morning, I'm Min Kwon. I will discuss about the findings regarding polysomnography, actigraphy, and subject sleep quality. Polysomnography analysis revealed that the proportion of non-REM sleep was greater after the exercise day than control day. This seems to be due to a non-significantly smaller proportion of wakefulness and greater proportion of stage 2 and slow wave sleep for stage 3 after the exercise day.
Minzu, I'm curious, has there been any previous studies with similar findings?
Yes. In fact, our recent study showed that a 30-minute high-intensity exercise 3 to 4 hours before bedtime increased slow wave sleep and decreased stage 2 sleep in children, while no effect was seen after moderate intensity exercise. Alright, next, actigraphy and subjective scores. In the present study, any reduction in actigraphy or subject sleep quality after late night exercise were not found. In both actigraphy and subjective sleep quality, previous study found that 1 to 3 hours of moderate intensity exercise increased nocturnal core body temperature, but did not interfere with sleep quality. So again, our results are parallel with previous findings.
Thank you, Minzu. Now, last but not least, please welcome Daego for the final discussion.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Daego. Earlier they said late night exercise does not have a significant impact on sleep. So I'm going to talk about how late night exercise affects cardiac autonomic activity. In this study, a late night exercise caused higher HR during sleep after exercise day than control day due to elevated HR during the first 3 sleeping hours. These changes during initial sleep was the most remarkable effect of physiological arousal seen, although no differences were observed in sleep quality between the days. On the other hand, HRV didn't show meaningful differences as we expected. The only remark was that it just took 1 hour longer to recover after the exercise day. We speculate 2 possible explanations for these results. One possible explanation is the fact that HRS under both vagal and sympathetic control, but HRV reflect mainly vagal activity. Thus, the elevated HR during early sleep after exercise may be a result of a small decrease in vagal, while an increase in sympathetic activity of the autonomic nervous system.
Okay, so this sounds a bit complicated, right? So to summarize, HR is affected by both vagal and sympathetic activity, while HRV is affected by only vagal activity. But results show that there was a change in only HR. So through this, we can speculate that it was the sympathetic activity that was more dominant.
That's right. However, another possible explanation is the effect of various physiological changes due to exercise. Exercise shortly before bedtime has been shown to increase nocturnal body temperature, which may explain increased HR during the first sleeping hours independent of autonomic control. Therefore, the present observations may be mainly related to increased whole body metabolism or temperature after exercise. In the end, it can be concluded that there is no scientific evidence that claims late night exercise is harmful to having a good night's sleep.
All right, everybody. So, coming back full circle, is vigorous exercise really harmful to our sleep quality? Well, based on our study, there was no significant evidence that deemed it so. So, in fact, there was even positive signs such as falling asleep faster and longer durations of deep sleeps. So, to draw a conclusion, I'm sorry. This was supposed to be. So to draw a conclusion, is there a bad time for exercise? Well, we say there is no bad time. Any time is good as long as it fits your agenda and it assures consistency. If you have a busy day, then it's totally fine to exercise at night. Just remember that late is better than never. So everyone, I hope that you have a good exercise and also a good night's sleep. Thank you.